Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Rob Schneider. I'm the manager of the West End Neighborhood Library. And on behalf of the West End Library staff, we're pleased to welcome you and Gratitude Powers DC to our beautiful library this evening. Uh, Welcome to Chief Smith, to the Office of the Chief Technology Officer, and so many who've uh, given us reasons to be grateful in the District of Columbia. Uh, I'm going to turn the program over this evening to Henry Lofton Jr., who's the Deputy Chief Technology Officer of the Office of the Chief Technology Officer. Um, we're delighted to be here. This is the 7th year that the library's been here. We want to make sure to remind you to visit our George Gershwin program next week, summertime on the 8th. We'll have some exceptional personalities present to talk about music. There's so much that we love to share at the library, and we're so happy that an event like this can take place here. Again, welcome and welcome, Mr. Lofton.
I don't know who figured out my suffix. Who put junior on there? Oh man, I try to hide that. As long as I don't know my middle initial, I'm safe. Yeah, I'm junior all night. So I just want to welcome you all to the Gratitude Powers DC event. As he already said, I'm Henry Lofton, the Deputy CTO, the Office of the Chief Technology Officer. And it's my honor to welcome you to this dedicated celebration of the positive impact that you all, MPD, has had on our city. I'm nervous. I see all these officers here, but I actually feel safe. I'm messing with you. I feel safe. So the Gratitude Powers DC initiative, led by the innovation team at Octo, is a heartfelt endeavor to capture and share the expressions of gratitude from our community. Through the immersive art installation, which is found to the right of the front door, if you didn't see it, if you're coming in, it was on the left, you're going out, it's on the right, and the collected stories, we highlight MPD's contributions to the safety and well-being of our neighborhoods. We would also like to take a moment to honor you, Chief Smith. This is your 1-year anniversary as chief, so happy anniversary. And we'd also like to, make note of your leadership and unwavering commitment to our city and how proud we are of your hard work. Residents shared stories and reflections through the Gratitude Powers DC survey, which, when did we put that out? You remember? Okay, so we've collected lots of information. And it's the people's vote or the people's choice that, they really had a lot to say about MPD. And it's a testament to the impact that you all have on the residents and the community. So hats off to you all for your hard work. Some of the comments were, one resident said, "I'm grateful for the DC police officers who are trying their best to keep DC residents safe 24/7. And they also went on to say, I know that their job isn't easy, they do their best. These sentiments resonate deeply with all of us, underscoring the essential role that you all, MPD, play in fostering a secure and thriving community. As we move through this evening, I encourage you to engage in the art installation, which again is found to the right of the front door, participate in the community conversations, and reflect on stories of gratitude shared by our fellow residents. Let this event inspire all of us to continue supporting and appreciating those that serve and protect our community. Thank you again for being here. And now I want to introduce one of the key people behind all of this, Dr. Lindsay Cross.
Good evening, everyone. I'm so happy to see you here. I was just saying to my colleagues that this little idea became something so beautiful. It's just incredible to see all of you. So I want to tell you a little bit about what is this Gratitude Powers DC project. So the innovation team was originally in the office of the mayor, and through that office, we actually had the privilege of having an artist in residence on our staff. And so our artists in residence, along with our data scientists, came up with this really brilliant idea that we would focus on gratitude. How can we spread gratitude throughout our city and share those stories? And so from that, we have different components of our project. So the first is the art installation, which you will see. If you haven't, please engage with it. It's beautiful. It's all about art and expressing notes of gratitude. Then we have our survey. Our survey, like Henry said, went out last October, and we asked people to pass the word, share the message, get people to tell their stories. And we did not tell them to say anything. It's just whatever you love about DC, the people, places, and things that make DC incredible. And you will not believe how many times, again, the stories about MPD came up. And so then we also we created on our website, on our innovate.dc/gratitude, we put we put the places that people loved on our interactive map. So you can actually visit that website and see what's in your neighborhood. There might be a coffee shop you've never noticed that people are like, oh, it's the best ever. And you might want to try and patron that. Okay. And so now I'll introduce the data scientist on our team, Matt Gerthney.
Hey all, it's good to be with you today. I'm talking about the gratitude survey, which is still live, and you have the opportunity to take the survey. And if you do take the survey, you'll see it's kind of structured around these gratitude prompts. So we really try to get people to think about the people, places, and things that they really value in the district. You can nominate a person, and if you nominate that person, you can give us their contact information. We'll forward the survey onto them, letting them know why you were grateful for that person. It's been pretty beautiful, the responses that have come out of this survey to date. And just to highlight a couple of them here, really covering the gamut of DC government services. We have a good reflection about bus drivers who are, during rush hour doing their best to get commuters from one place to the next. DC trash collectors who are obviously really busy during peak seasons of DC, leaf season, the winter holidays. DC teachers who put their best foot forward and helping the brightest of the district really learn the skills and propel them forward. And this isn't a district government services, but I always put the trees of Washington, D.C. because this is one of my favorite quotes, but no matter how hard life gets, the trees give me hope that everything is going to be okay, which is kind of a sentiment about DC's tree canopy. And as Lindsay mentioned, we took all of the places that came out of the survey and put them in this interactive map, which is on our website. It features 137 unique locations across all 8 wards in the District of Columbia. I usually mention a couple of the ones that have kind of rung true for me. There's a really good community market in Ward 5 that is highlighted in the map, and they're kind of just reflecting about how, as they walk in, they know their order immediately. They can kind of talk to people that they haven't seen in a couple weeks. So a really true community space. And that's just like one example of the many places that have come out of the survey so far. Lindsay mentioned, as well as Henry, that there's an art installation in the lobby. If you have checked out that art installation, there's a video that our artists in residence essentially interviewed residents that kind of reflect about gratitude and what DC and living in DC means for them. We're going to play you a snippet of that video on the next slide. And then you have the opportunity to, of course, visit the art installation after this and take a look. But we're going to play that video for you now.
Gratitude to me.
And even if you don't have the audio, you can at least see the snippets and the captions on the bottom.
Gratitude to me means a feeling indescribable of receiving things that you thought you never deserved.
Gratitude to
me means a feeling indescribable of receiving things that you thought you never deserved.
Gratitude to me means thankfulness and joy and honestly peace.
Just being able to be grateful for what's been given, both to me and also to the community as well.
Gratitude is all about seeing and acknowledging our connections with each other. It's about recognizing that we're not all in this alone. We're all in this together. And when we do see that and we act on that, it's powerful.
Okay, so I am Dr. Lindsay Quarles, and I've lived in DC now for 12 years, and I am the Senior Project Manager for the Mayor's Office of Innovation. So the Gratitude Project was something that came along, and it was really all about this very, non-physical thing of gratitude. And initially I was like, I don't know how this fits, but as we've been working on it more and more, I'm realizing the importance of gratitude. I have it in my personal life, but showing gratitude for my city that has given me so much seemed like such a good, valuable way to spend our time as a team and to encourage that for the city.
A place in DC that I'm grateful for would be all of the green spaces. I love the green spaces in DC.
The Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial Library evokes feelings of gratitude because I slept outside this library for almost 17 years. Zachariah's Kitchen, they never gave up on me, and they sent their outreach team to come find me back in 2008. And I've been housed since 2008 because they believed in me and seen something in me that I didn't see in myself. So this whole area where I slept and had co-occurring disorders to be the person I am today brings a lot of gratitude when I walk through this area.
I would say the place that I'm most grateful for here in the community is a little bar and coffee shop in Barracks Row, as you are, DC. This is a place that the owners are so intentional in making a welcoming space for queer and trans folks, particularly queer and trans folks of color, Black and brown queer and trans folks, celebrating community, engaging with community events, creating fantastic opportunities for art and conversation and community building.
One thing I love about DCs are the architecture, the buildings. They make me feel really historical.
Every time I'm in that space, whether it's showing up for a karaoke night and singing my heart out, there's a boy I know, he's the one I dream of. Oh.
We modernized 45 schools and 8 libraries, including the phenomenal Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial Library. We renovated 73 recreation centers and community centers. We broke ground on a new full-service hospital on the St. Elizabeth's East Campus that will open next year. We opened the entertainment and sports arena in Ward 8 and Audi Field in Ward 6, 2 wards now connected by the beautiful Frederick Douglass Memorial Bridge. We invested more than $1.5 billion into the Housing Production Trust Fund, making us the jurisdiction with the largest per capita investment in affordable housing in the nation. And we have results to show for it. We've lowered unemployment, increased school enrollment, driven down homelessness, and added more jobs.
And I find it very easy to be grateful when I walk by this library, this church, this area, Southeast Minnesota Avenue, different places where I was homeless and engaging in substance abuse disorder and mentally unstable. And I go through there today and I'm able to give back to that community in the same area that's coming full circle. And that's evokes like unspecified amount of gratitude.
I'm a person who does a lot of caring for people and not a lot of accepting other people's care. And one day I was supposed to get together with my friend Leslie, and I told her, it's a really rough day today. I don't really know. And immediately she said, what if I just come over there? Like, I'm free. I don't have to be to work today. And she came over with fresh baked cookies even. And like, I'm getting happy just thinking about it, just thinking about like, oh, you saw me. You saw that I needed some love and you baked me some love and you brought it right over and we had a grand old time. It was really like, yeah, it's special.
Something that can make me feel grateful today. I'm already like eternally grateful for where I'm at today and the things that I've been through and been able to overcome. So one thing today would be, I'm just at a loss for words. Like you have no idea how grateful I am. You don't know where I come from. So it's hard to say that what would make me more grateful right now.
Gratitude.
Gratitude empowers DC.
Gratitude powers DC.
Gratitude empowers DC.
And so that's just a little snippet of what you'll see on the art installation that runs on the loop over and over again. I have to do a little shout out. The little person is mine. Sanai is my little person. So she feels like a little star that she's in the video. So what we did to be able to make this whole thing possible is we went through the survey responses and we actually coded to find out which agencies people were grateful for. So they said, for example, I'm grateful for the employees at the DMV. We code that, okay, DMV. And so when we did that, we then did a tally of how frequently are each of these agencies coming up. And in that top 5 was MPD. And so that is how we got here today. And so now we're going to take a little moment to see all of you in your glory, in action in the community.
Earlier today, Mayor Muriel Bowser announced that Pamela Smith will be taking over at MPD.
A lot of times you only hear bad things about the police or when they do something wrong. There's not enough of our first responders doing things right, and they do way more things right than they do wrong, and that needs to be publicized and showcased. So I'm glad that I can do that.
Why we got all those responses from people saying how grateful they are for you. And so we're going to read a few of them so you can hear what people had to say. So, knowing and understanding what's going on in our neighborhood and putting together the right strategies to keep the peace.
Keeping us safe from violent crime.
Putting their lives on the line every day to protect the people of this city.
The care he shows in the community. He has worked so hard to get to the place he is now, and I admire and respect him deeply.
Trying their best to keep residents safe 24/7. I know their job isn't easy.
Being responsive and friendly. When I've engaged them, we need police more now than ever.
And so those are just some of the stories that we heard from folks saying how grateful they are for all the things you do to serve our community. And so that is why we wanted to invite you here today to celebrate you and say again, thank you. And so now it is my honor to welcome the Deputy Mayor of Public Safety and Justice, Lindsay Appia.
So I'm actually bringing my phone up here so I can keep track of time, because honestly, like, I'm sitting there and I'm a very emotional person and I'm really overwhelmed because, so I'm the deputy mayor for public safety and justice, right? And there's no part of me that would have ever imagined myself in this position, literally done. There's none. And being in this space, it's hard. There's so many, it has been a whirlwind over the past year and a half, right? That you all have been, I'm going to take this in with me. And I can stand here and be like, we're in a good place because of each of you. And that is absolutely the truth. I feel humbled to be able to stand up in front of you and say thank you. And for you all to hear that truly from my heart, how grateful I am to each of you. Over the past year, however long, we've been through a lot together, a lot. You all have been through ups and downs, good and bad. It doesn't surprise me to hear what people are saying about you, but I know that there's been times where the things that are said have been hard. And yet every day you all showed up. 3,000, 3,300. When we knew they needed more, you showed up. All times of day, all times of night, you showed up in terrible, terrible moments of people's lives. Like in places where I talked to the chief a lot, and I was talking about how go to some of these scenes, and I hope that you all saw me. I tried to show up with you so that you would know, like, I don't know what to say all the time, but that we've got you, that we're backing you, that no matter what you hear, we've got you. So that's why standing in some of these scenes, I think about like what you all have to really go through, right? Because the one that really sticks with me is Potomac Avenue, the shooting at Potomac Avenue. And I went down there like, Deputy Mayor, come downstairs. This poor man's there. And you all are working, doing your jobs. And I'm thinking, like, what is the impact on all of you? But in the worst moments of people's lives, you all are there. Like the last people that sometimes people talk to. The ones who always have to. Last week, I was with Commander Makel and the daycare workers from the daycare where our 2-year-old had been shot. They're there and they're looking for us to have something to say, and she was masterful, right? But there's always an expectation that you all will know what to say and what to do, and you're human beings. You're regular people who've made a choice to serve, but not superhuman people and don't always have the words. But one of the things that I know to be true and that why our community love you so much, and it's not just gratitude, they love you, is because you always show up. This month and a half has been wild. There's no city like Washington, D.C. There just isn't. It's not even comparable. Like no matter what anyone says, the things that you all manage that people have no idea, the way that you show up in community, but you're also managing like NATO and all of these major things without any sort of issue that people like kind of take for granted, right? That, okay, they're going to handle it. Oh, hi. So, like that they take for granted, but you all like you just do it as if it's nothing, while also being, we had this safe summer summit because people dread summer, right? Oh gosh, what's going to happen with summer? And yet like we're having this summer where we're like, okay, this is probably the best summer we've had that I can remember, and it's because of you all. It really is. Like, and you all are working and working and working, and we know like you're giving over and above and beyond. And so I like one of the things the mayor talks to us a lot about, like, because we've been through the pandemic and all of this, is that we don't have to have all the answers, but we have to have the trust of our residents. And how do we like have the trust of our residents? She's like, we've got to show up, tell them the truth, what we know and what we don't know, and then keep on and like tell them what we need. And so I looked up the word trust because I think there's nobody who's more present than MPD. There's no place that you go that you all aren't there. Every community event, every crime scene, every school, like you're always there. And so you really are the ones who like are foundational to us. Like we rely upon you in the government. You're like our backbone and foundation. You just are. And you're holding us up. Like we're the residents, like after last year, which was hard. We had a tough year. And I say one of the hardest things to do is turn around something once it's on a path. But like you all stuck in there with us and fought through like all the different changes that needed to be made to allow us to make our city safer. And so I just want to trust. The definition is assured reliance on the character, ability, strength, or truth of something. And it's not just what you do. You all do a lot, but it's really who you are. Like you embody the heart of our city. And I talk about DC values of inclusivity and safety and accessibility and all these things. And people look to you to be that. And if you're not, like they let us know, and when they do, sometimes you don't hear it. So the city trusts, our residents trust us so much because of what every single day. You and all the people in the districts and all of the units and across MPD really allow us to be able to do, which is maintain the trust of our residents who know that they can rely on your character, your ability, your strength, and they can depend on you. And so I just want to say thank you as like a DC resident. I've lived here since 2001, right? And as someone who's able to stand confidently in this position because of you, truly. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. I said, me and the chief talk a good amount. And I last year, was responsible for helping lead this search for a new police chief, which again, I'm like, I mean, that is something that I did not take lightly at all. Like that, I mean, I might have ground my teeth down to like nubs because of how like the stress of making sure, because like I said, people rely upon you, but I understood where we were and the importance of that. And I tell you this, a couple of things. One, a lot of people wanted to be the chief. And that's because of you all. Like, you are the best department in this country. I'm not even just saying that because like it's like DC. It's just a fact. People will tell you that. They told me that. They really look to you. And a lot of people wanted to be your chief. And so like did not take that lightly. And I feel so like humbled and amazed that we're here a year later with our chief. Like, the chief has modeled what she has said, like policing with purpose, serving with care, right? Like, you all are the heart of our city, and like the chief leads with heart. And she is up. I need her to sleep more. Like, I need her to actually sleep and not take like naps as a thing. But she's up because she cares about you all, because she cares about the residents of our city. And really, like, it's not even just care, it's like love. Like, that's what you see through her. And again, I keep saying I could not do this job without you, but I would not want to be in this position without Chief Smith. I really wouldn't. I don't know. There's a lot of crazy things that happen. Wilson building in other places around the city, and like to have a partner, and really the chief is my partner. I just can't say thank you enough to her for the strength and just compassion to me, and understanding and partnering in this thing. Like, I couldn't say thank you enough. I really, truly couldn't. And so I hope in this rambling, which I don't usually do, thing that you heard from me, like my heart, which is truly thank you, that we are so grateful for you. We are so grateful, not just for what you do, but for who you are, because really that is what you all are bringing to the space. And so thank you. And with that, I think I'm turn it over to Chief Smith. I'm not crying over MPD.
Like, you need to go take a nap, DM. No, truly, it is greatly an honor and certainly a privilege, and it's very humbling. Thank you, Deputy Mayor Pia, for your kind words, and certainly for your support of the Metropolitan Police Department. When you talk about how you could not do this job, would not want to do this job without me. I can't think of a better person to sit next to call in the middle of the night, to call it early in the morning, to really hear some of my concerns with respect to the District of Columbia as a whole. Being new into this space, it can certainly be very challenging. And we know our mayor, who's not present today, but you have shown me, since I've been in this space, how much you appreciate the work that we do, and how challenging it is. But yet at the same time, your words of encouragement means a lot to the members of this agency. And it's not just words, but you show up. Like, you're in spaces and places. I turn around and be like, where you come from? You out in the middle of the night. We out here on a crime scene. I mean, a true crime scene. But we appreciate you so much, and we appreciate you being such a strong ally for public safety. I want to commend DC's Deputy Chief Technology Officer, Henry Lofton Jr. Did he leave or did he go someplace? Okay, are you Deputy Chief? Okay. Steve could not make it. Okay. And certainly your innovation team here at Octo. Certainly this is Gratitude Powers DC. I had to really keep saying it over and over again to really get a fundamental understanding of what you're saying, because if I really say it and slow down and don't talk real fast, like I'm from Arkansas and Pine Bluff, it would say Gratitude Powers DC. You felt that, didn't you? I felt that too. Not just like Gratitude Powers DC, but gratitude powers the District of Columbia. And that's one of the things that I have tried to share with my team about what I feel about what we do in this space. And of course, Dr. Quarles and Matt Gherkin, of course. You all have done such an incredible work in visioning, planning, organizing, and implementing the Gratitude Powers DC initiative. And I could not be more humble and grateful. One of the things that I've shared with the team since I've been here is that, you know, we want to flip the terminology when we talk about community-based policing. We want to have what's called relationship-based policing. We have to have relationships in our community. And when I think about relationships, I think about the gratitude that comes from being in spaces and places where we know we have to show up really strong. And as the deputy mayor stated, this is a tough job. And one reason why Washington, D.C. is such a great place is because of the many men and women who serve in public service. And I'll say that public service is a hard job, because, you know, in public service, people say what they want to say about you right there, Mr. Brenner. They say some things that you have to almost wonder, who in the world are they talking about? Truly, they couldn't be talking about me. But what I can say is this: you can talk about me, but don't talk about the members of the Metropolitan Police Department in a negative way. And I've said this in many places and spaces. Why? Because I know what they go through. They are not just getting up in the morning, putting on a uniform, standing on a corner, but these officers do far more than that. I've seen some of them come out of their pocket, pay for things that they shouldn't have to pay for food for families, pay for food for children, pay for clothes for children. I've seen the compassion and heart of these members, which is why I had to flip the tagline to policing with purpose and serving with care. Because I know without a shadow of a doubt that every single one of the members of the Metropolitan Police Department care about their communities, and they care about the work that they do. The toughest job for me when I came on this job is figuring out who I could have in certain places and spaces to help me get this job done. I had the vision. There's a particular text that says, write the vision and make it plain. Write it across the tablets of your heart. Though it may tarry, it shall come to pass. In 2024, July, it has come to pass. 34% crime reduction in comparison to the same time last year. 49%, or we had 50% reduction in carjackings. Where are we at, somebody? This in comparison to this same time last year. Let me hit you with just one more nugget. 40% reduction in robberies this same time in comparison to this same time last year. And let me tell you something. We did not get there as a city just with the members of the Metropolitan Police Department, but it was the gratitude of this city that stood behind us and stood beside us and shared information with us and embraced us. Some of y'all hit us real hard, though. Some of y'all tried to knock us down just a little bit, but you know, we fall down, but we get back up again, right? And I know this is the kind of agency and membership that we have at the Metropolitan Police Department. Despite what is said, despite what is done, we still get back up and we still rise to the occasion. I've worked for a police agency for 24 years. I've lived in 7 different states. And I have lived in 4 major cities across the United States. And I can say, and I don't just say this lightly, when I say that the Metropolitan Police Department is the best police department in the nation, I mean that with everything that I have inside of me. They work these commanders. Let me say something about these commanders. There's no, even though we have 7 districts across the District of Columbia, but we have one city. They operate as one city. Even though they're dividing lines and jurisdictional lines, I can tell you at 2 o'clock in the morning, if something is happening over in the 5th district and the 2nd district need personnel, 2nd district is up at night putting out information on the chat saying, what do you need? Let me send you personnel. That's what we do because we have to do that. This city is not divided by jurisdictional boundaries, and neither is the Metropolitan Police Department. So whatever you need in your area, if you don't have it in your space, I always tell the team, a closed mouth don't get fed. Tell me what you need so we can get the job done. That's why the numbers are trending the way they are. We had to do something because people were not feeling safe. We have a violent crime suppression division. Let me tell you, those men and women in that space work hard all night long, all day long. We have taxed, let me just say this, we have a lower membership of police officers than we've probably had in the last decade. But you know what hasn't changed? Protests and demonstrations, it hasn't changed, it's increased. Special events have increased. Our special operations division, I mean, they are taking on more projects. And then there's competing interests because while they're managing a special event over here, there's a protest and demonstration over there. And then 37 dignitaries decide they wanted to come to the District of Columbia. So we have to manage that through NATO. And then right after that, here comes the Prime Minister of Israel. Now, where are you going? You're coming to the District of Columbia. Why? We thought he was coming here to take a vacation, but we know he wasn't. He was coming here to take care of business. But yet at the same time, you didn't hear one major encounter in this district with respect to the Metropolitan Police Department. So when I tell you every single day I'm up all night, not because I just want to be, but because I have to be. And I have to make sure that these employees, leadership, membership know that I appreciate. You want to talk about gratitude powers DC? Gratitude powers the Metropolitan Police Department. I have the utmost level of respect for what our officers do. And I'm going to say this and then I'm going to sit down. There are moments where this job is extremely challenging. And I think everyone in here can nod their head. Bullets are flying. Officers are running towards the bullets. Individuals are in hospitals. Detectives are running to the hospitals to try to get interviews. Young kids are running wild across the District of Columbia because the parents haven't challenged them with doing something more reasonable and something that won't have us lock them up and put them in jail. And I say it all the time, I don't want to lock up all of our young people, but I will if I have to. And I say all of this to say that no one can do this job unless you were called to do this job. People talk about the Metropolitan and some of the members often, and sometimes they talk about us in a negative light, but you won't dare put a uniform on and stand out there 24 hours a day or 18 hours a day. We have officers who work, sometimes we have to force them to go home. Why? Because they care about the job. Now, don't get it twisted. The money is pretty good too. Now, they get paid quite a bit. But I know for most of them, they do it because they have a heart of service. And it's a calling. You can't do this job. And I say this to you, no, we don't get it right all the time. But the expectation is building the relationship with you will help us to get it right. You will let us know what it is that we need to do better. That's why we do public safety walks every single week in every district. Why? Because we want to hear from you how we can be a better service to you. This is a public service job, and we have to take the good with the bad and the bitter with the sweet. But every single day they put these uniforms on, they're taking the good with the bad and the bitter with the sweet. And I'm not saying that you don't hold us accountable, because accountability works both ways. Hold me accountable. I'm the chief of police. And when things get really bad, I own it. I don't try to shun my responsibilities or push them off on nobody else. I own it, because they know when things get bad for them, they better own it too, with all due respect. But I say take a moment sometimes and think about what these officers do. They put a uniform on. They drive a car around all day, some of them 12, 18 hours a day. And it's tough. And in between that, they got to figure out how to eat. They have to figure out how to raise a family. They have to figure out how to be present for their families. They're humans. They're human beings. I've been there, done that, been on the street, locked folks up. But at the end of the day, I want to go home to my family too.
At the end of the day, I want every last one of them to go home to their families also. Gratitude powers DC. I've been in this space for 1 year. And the one time where I was broken to my spirit was when our officers were shot. I didn't know how to function, even in the midst of still standing strong, and the news reporters asking me about the dogs in the house. That broke my spirit. And when I walked into the hospital room to visit each one of those grown men who have husbands, who have wives and children and what have you, as soon as I walked through the door, they broke down and started crying. They were laughing before I got in there, but as soon as I shut, I was like, oh Lord, they ain't dying, are they? Lord, please save them. They just started crying. And I knew what that meant. That was gratitude. It was humility. It's because I stopped by as their chief to see them, to make sure that they know that we got you. Despite what happened today, we are grateful that you're still alive. This is the job that we took an oath to do 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And it was the toughest thing I've had to do since I've been in this space, to watch 3 officers lie in a bed after they had been shot at. Had been shot, not just shot at, but shot by someone who had no regard for human life. That's what these officers run into every single day. And so I want to say to each one of you, Junior, thank you. Seriously, like you all are here to thank us, but listen, thank you. Thank you to every person that showed up here today to show us how much you appreciate what we do out on the streets, because it's not an easy job. Last week, we were up all night over in the 3rd district, right? 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning, we standing on the street talking to people in the neighborhood because somebody got shot. Then 2 days later, where are we? 7th district? 6th district? Just you name it. But the point that I'm trying to make is that we're going to show up for community. And we're going to be present for you no matter what you need. And I say it oftentimes to the team, and I'll say it to you, whatever we can do to make your situation better, that's in our control, please let us know. Don't judge us. Walk with us. Talk with us. Be with us. Correct us if you need to, but don't course correct us in public. But sometimes you got to. I know y'all like the Washington Post and all of those stuff, and they crazy stuff. They do. They say crazy stuff all the time. I got to get back in order now, right? I can't get back in order. But Junior, thank you. Because what you all demonstrate seriously at Octo with respect to how the residents feel about their public service partners matters. And it certainly matters to me. And I'm not one to, take the, y'all, we don't like to take surveys up at the MPD. They don't like no surveys at all. I don't care if it's surveys that talk about something good. They will not check a box over there. But this is very humbling, and it's certainly something that I think the members of this agency needed to hear. After coming through a tough year last year, after coming through COVID, after coming through George Floyd, I feel, and I'm saying this for me, I feel they don't get the recognition sometimes that they deserve. And so thank you for taking time out of your lives, out of your days to even conduct a survey. And where MPD comes out at the top 5, within the top 5, we're okay with that, because next year we're going to be number 1. God bless you and God keep you.
Y'all are amazing. Wow, that was amazing. You have tough to follow, but I would love to welcome here our Director of Human Resources, Charles Hall.
So this is the second event where I've been set up. The person who preceded me probably should have been the last person to talk, and yet they put me up here anyway. Can we celebrate Chief Smith and just show our gratitude for you and all that you do? It's great to be here tonight to celebrate Gratitude Powers DC, this initiative that makes a point of talking about the incredible people who serve to keep our city moving forward. It has been said that gratitude is not only the greatest of values, but the parent of all others. Gratitude can transform common days into Thanksgivings, turn routine jobs into joy, and change ordinary opportunities into blessings. This event is a testament of the power of appreciation and the positive impact it has on the lives of those in our workforce and our communities. Gratitude Powers DC is a unique project that blends art and community engagement to highlight the heart and soul of our city, its people. It's about recognizing the everyday heroes who work tirelessly to make DC a vibrant and thriving place to live, work, and play. The Gratitude Powers DC survey that MPD might not want to check the box in revealed 3 inspiring insights that we've already heard are prevalent in MPD. First, there's a deep sense of purpose that drives our employees. They're passionate about serving the community and making a real difference in people's lives. Second, there's a spirit of camaraderie and shared mission amongst colleagues that plays a major part in job satisfaction. And lastly, there's a strong connection to the residents, the ones that we have the privilege of serving every day. They're committed to providing excellent service and motivated by the positive impact they have on the community. Based on these insights and more, it's clear that we have and are part of a place, a government, and an opportunity where we have fulfilling careers with opportunities to make a real impact and the chance to be a part of something bigger than ourselves. Speaking of opportunities, DC is hiring. We're currently hiring for a variety of positions across different government agencies, but this evening, I want to speak specifically about the hiring we're doing for our police officer positions at MPD. Working with MPD gives you an opportunity to work in a diverse workforce. 23% of officers are women. 65% of officers are minorities. It gives you an opportunity to participate in a paid academy, starting at $66,000 and increasing to $72,000 after 18 months. Gives you the opportunity to receive a $6,000 rental assistance stipend, a $25,000 hiring bonus, fixed shifts and days off, even when you don't want to take them, and a clear path for upward mobility. Now, I recognize that I'm talking to a lot of you who are already working for MPD. So if you know someone who's interested in joining the phenomenal team you have the privilege of being a part of, I want you to make sure that you direct them either to the recruitment table that's outside if there's someone in the room, or go to together.dc.gov for additional information and to apply. In closing, I want to say thank you to Chief Smith, to each of you, and I want to express my deepest gratitude to all the employees of the district government, especially those of you who put your lives on the line every day for us. Your hard work and dedication and commitment to serving our community is truly inspiring. Thank you for making DC the best city in the world and a better place for all of us.
I thought it was going to be tough, but wow, he did it. That was awesome. So in closing, we just want to again say thank you so much for coming tonight. Thank you so much for all you do every single day. The tour, our installation is touring our library system. So right now, as you know, it's here, but it's next going to be at the Lamont Riggs Library for the month of August. And then it's going to end at Deanwood Rec Center. And we're going to be celebrating our schools soon. So we will welcome you all to come back and celebrate with us then. Thank you so much. Enjoy the food, please, and have a wonderful evening. And thank you so much again. Bye-bye.